Okay, so which brings me to this next part of this little presentation. And I get to ask this question a whole lot. And the question I get to ask is, what will you do with your money once the revaluation or the reinstatement takes place, and if you happen to make a lot of money off it? Well, I mean, some of these things are easy. The first thing I'm going to do is pay off all my bills. Pay them all off. One of the greatest feelings to have is just being debt free, not having to owe money to anybody or anyone or any company. Just pay your bills. That should be the first thing you do, because I hate to put this warning out there again, but I heard a financial advisor speak at a Davos meeting, and what he said still to this day haunts me. And you'll hear me mention this several more times because I want to make this point to you guys. He said after the Kuwait dinar created several millionaires, within 5 months, more than 85% of them were flat broke again. Flat broke. I want you to think about that. We're talking about millionaires. People were turned into millionaires. In less than 5 months, more than 85% of those millionaires were flat broke again. So pay off all your bills just in case, okay? I just want to throw that out there. I made no secret about the portion of where my money is going to go. There's no doubt about it. There's no hesitation. There's no doubt. This is exactly where a minimum of 20% of my money is going to go, is to holding gold and silver. And I'm going to get into this a little bit why. I think anybody that's going to get millions of dollars, if you're blessed enough to get it, you need to buy physical gold and find a safe, hidden place inside your house to hold it. What this does, it preserves your wealth, okay? So let's get into this just a little bit. SD Bullion did a video comparing gold and silver prices going back about 20-25 years. So in 2000, you can buy an ounce of gold, look at this, for $272 approximately. In 2000, all right, we're just now in 2019. So in less than 20 years, gold went from $272 an ounce up to where we are right now, which is approximately $1,500. This past few months, it's been bouncing back and forth between about $1,350 up to about as high as almost $1,600. That's a pretty good jump. That's not too shabby at all. But if you're thinking about when in 2000, if you bought a bunch of ounces of silver at $272 compared to where it is right now, that's a huge increase. You're probably looking at about, I think that's about a 450% increase in just less than 20 years. Okay, so that's not too shabby. All right, let's go to this next one here. So in 1995, silver was bouncing between, you could see here, about $4 to $6. All right, you could see at one time it was about $4.30, maybe a little bit less. Jumped up as high as, $6.15 is what you're looking at here. So this was in 1995. Okay. By the end of 1995, you could buy 1 ounce of gold for $5.14. Man, I would love to have that price right now as a person who tries to stack silver. One of the things are, until you reach your goal, you would like for the silver to stay as low as possible until you can achieve your goal. People say, well, what is your goal? If you don't have a lot of money and you really want to try to find a way or a goal for individuals to have and slowly start stacking up, is you want to try to get about 1,000 ounces of silver and a minimum of 20 ounces of gold. Now that's a lot of money, the gold is, so I'd start with the silver, why it's so low. I have reason to believe eventually silver value would pass up gold eventually, because there's more industrial uses. As a matter of fact, silver is second only to oil in industrial uses, so silver will start to become scarce. Okay, so in 2019, you can see that gold is moving somewhere between about, down here to the low part, about $15 on up as above $18 is what you're looking at right here. So you're looking at since the 1995 to where we are now in 2019, that's about a 260% increase in value. That's not too bad at all. That's a nice little jump. Okay. So many experts expect gold to jump. They believe somewhere around $5,000 an ounce, and silver to be somewhere around here about $120 an ounce by the year 2022. In my opinion, these numbers are drastically low. That's just my opinion. I believe it's at the minimum twice that. Okay, so if you buy now where gold is about $17 an ounce, and you start stacking up, it's going to be a huge jump in the value. That's just my opinion, as well as many other experts out there, okay? So if you look here in 1996, Warren Buffett's hedge fund group, their Berkshire Hathaway, purchased half. Now this is how you know you got connections. They purchased half, approximately 100 million ounces of silver that were in the COMEX reserve warehouse. So they bought it right here. They just see this drop in how much is being held in our warehouse. They bought half of it. They bought approximately, nobody knows for sure, but it was approximately 100 million ounces, okay? So let's talk about that for just a minute. So the hedge fund group spent about $500 million for 100 million ounces of gold. Today, that same 100 million ounces is worth approximately $1.8 billion. So in just 23 years, Warren Buffett and his hedge fund made approximately $1.5 billion in profit. It didn't take long for that to happen. So if you think about this, a minimum of 20% of all my money definitely is going to go to holding gold and silver in my house somewhere hidden. That's for sure. The other cash positive investments are things like quadplexes, and apartments. If you want to own a complex with, let's say, 100 units, and you charge about $1,000 a unit, and this is in California. So you're looking at making about $100,000 a month from rent if all your units are occupied and every one of them is paying like they should. So you're looking at $1.2 million a year is what you should get. But keep in mind, you're going to have overhead costs and maintenance fee, taxes, and insurance, of course. That's the kind of stuff you need to think about. Like apartments, you could just buy houses, several of them, outright and just rent them out. But again, you have to worry about the type of tenant you get, whether or not they'll take care of your house or destroy it. So that's it's something that's on my mind. I'll probably get a couple of them, but that's not where my mind's at. My mind's here. I think buying storage units is a better move. There's low traffic. People just come here, they rent the space out. There's really low overhead expenses. I mean, you have your insurances and stuff, but the truth of the matter is people just put their items in the units, and the units are locked and they just sit there. Okay? No, nothing's, you're making money and people's stuff's just sitting there. And so I think it's a much safer bet, in my opinion, owning several storage units. It's a good way to make a steady income with very little overhead. That's just my opinion. Okay, and if you guys feel free to, in the comments, drop your own opinion and let me know what you think about what you would do if once the money thing changes. Okay, so and the thing about storage units that I like, it's going to be like Christmas each time a renter defaults on their payments. I hate to say it that way, but you never know what you're going to find in a unit. Now, as a person who's a coin collector, I'm a numismatic coin collector. If I found this kind of stuff, I would lose my what. I love this kind of stuff. So if somebody's not paying their rent like they're supposed to, by law, you can auction it off, and whatever's in there you own. So, okay, so in closing, I just want to say this. Several currencies have had their value held down for one reason or another. There's no doubt that soon we will see an increase in value of many currencies, including the Iraqi dinar and Vietnam dong. Knowing this, what you should be doing now, right this moment, is planning ahead of what it is you're going to do after the rates change and you benefit from the profits. You should start doing your research ahead of time and be ahead of the ball game and try to figure out how to not be like any one of those 85% of the people within 5 months who are flat broke. Okay, so thank you for stopping by. Feel free to please hit the like button, subscribe, and share the video. Everybody have a good evening.